Hey guys, what's going on? This is something I just wanted to show you that I noticed that was unusual, or maybe it's not unusual. Maybe I think it's given all things, if we look at all factors, maybe some people would come and say, hey, this is actually probably something that is perfectly explainable. Forget those guys. Let's have some fun. So on the left here is what I noticed here is when we're doing the old 20-year nostalgia loop with 2003, right? I had mentioned that in doing back in 2020, when I should have been doing a 20-year nostalgia loop back to 2000 with my Chrono Magic, patent pending, ha 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 ha, esoteric research to the beyond world of nothing, that 2000 was such a joke. 1980 was taking the time to reboot, to turn from 1970s whatever culture to 1980s before the 80s started happening. So the reboot in 2000 was kind of lamesville. So quickly, I think I started checking out 2003, and so it must have been shortly after Kelly had left, maybe that, or maybe before, I had started doing the time jump experiment to 2003. So I started going to 2003, 3 years ahead of schedule. And as a testimony to that, when I started to hit the ground running in January 1st of this year, I already had a pile of books ready to go that included Neil Stephenson's Quicksilver, Robert Enkin's The Morning Star. I'm looking right at it. The Dawn of Zoroastrianism. I had a whole bunch of books. I had Tales from the Time Loop by David Icke already set aside. And I'd obviously already done some acquisitions in 2003 because I remembered that I had picked up some games for the Game Boy Advance. Now look, here on this side, these are all games that I had back in the day for the Game Boy Advance. These were the games that my time with the Game Boy Advance was kind of basically from like 2000, 2001, really, and then it came back for me, when I got my job at the law firm in, 2006, and then, was idly, trying to spend time in the craft for as much time as possible to avoid, life there. And then I'd have to go hide in my office and then just spend time on YouTube, right? Whatever. But these were the stalwarts of that time was Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Street Fighter, Puzzle Fighter 2 without a doubt. This is like Tetris, before we had cell phones. Advance Wars 2 without a doubt. And Final Fantasy Tactics, in this game, Dungeons & Dragons Eye of the Beholder. So these were the games that I had back in the day, right? I actually had back in the day. And then I had some actual Game Boy games as well that I don't have here. I think I have at the office. But now check this out. These are all games that I obviously purchased, in this game as well, Tales of Phantasia. These are all games that I picked up, obviously, when I was time jumping back to 2003. It must have been in 2000. And if people are saying to themselves, hey man, why you keep on acting like 2000 was like a bajillion years ago? Brothers and sisters from this channel, on my other channel, people who have been with me for a while know that I spend time broadcasting from this house, that house, the other house, and at one time, a house of voluntary, I'm going to hang out at this house for 90 days and, just kind of get my stuff together, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, life has its ups, its downs, its sideways, and, what year was that? Who? What was her name? Yeah, you know what I mean? There's some of that, too. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, looking at the YouTube, looking at the old Amazon purchase history to kind of put things together and, whatever. So these were all games that I got circa, that I, to do some sort of nostalgia loop to 2003. Because check this out, I doubled the collection. But now here's what's nuts. I was doing research to figure out what games were from 2003. So all these games are from 2003, including this game. So I obviously picked these all up for 2003. And I have to go into my Amazon purchase history because I must have picked up games for the PS2 as well. Because I was rocking that system hardcore back in the day. But I then said, so I fact-checked to make sure that I got all these for a 2003 time loop, or I didn't get them for some other time loop. All of these are from 2003. So all these were purchased for a 2003 time loop. experiment. I don't have any other similar purchase history or Game Boy Advance games or any games for any other year. I only did this for 2003. Straight up. Now check this out. Now, I didn't play these games back in 2003. In 2003, I was in the middle of law school. The gaming that I was doing at home, primarily on the PS2 and some on the PS1. The Game Boy Advance would be hanging out, like if I had, we were going on a plane or a trip or whatever. But that's what it would be for. It would be used for that, actual use for mobile gaming, or if I was going to a hotel or something. Because this was like back in the day before, phones had functional games. This is not like the day of, remember, this is like pre-iPhones and shit. Were you playing anything, playing on the phone? What was knocking your socks off on your phone was like, oh shit, they ported Tetris. Fucking A! What's everyone doing? Playing Tetris, yo. Work productivity dives. Everyone's on their BlackBerry playing Tetris, yo. Their Crackberries playing Tetris, yo. Check this out. So my primary Game Boy Advance knockout times was like really 2006, 7, 8, 9. Yet, the exception of this game, which is from 2004. This game, which were all the games. Well, this game you could hardly play because it sucks. This is a game I just happened to have because I had back in the day. These games are all from what year? They're all from 2003. So leaving aside the fact that I doubled my Game Boy Advance. So number one is, thing that's interesting to me, number one, for some reason, back in 2000, I knew that the 2003 time jump was apparently the one that was going to be the big deal. I think it was, in 2000, we could, well, consult some histories, things get bargled. But it was at some point earlier, way earlier than this, that I went back to 2003 for the first time. Some sort of exploratory journey. What was I doing then? Sending up some sort of beacons? Pre-satellite technology? What the heck was I doing? But yo, how is it that back in the day, all the games that I was playing, so these are all different types of games, pretty much. Well, these are both Final Fantasy games, but the Final Fantasy games, but two different types. They're all from 2003, yeah. Though I did not play them in 2003. I most likely did not acquire them either in 2003. You know what? I've always been an El Cheapo buyer. I'll tell you this. I remember I bought this one used because it was a Dungeons & Dragons game. In 2006, 7, 8 probably. I was feeling the nostalgia. So picked up this bad boy used because it was already probably old school. Rocking the Game Boy in 2006 on the can. I was probably kicking it old school, right? Probably found a copy of Super Puzzle Fighter 2 cheap. Advance Wars 2. Get my ass kicked on that one. Yeah, let's get psyched up to boot up Final Fantasy Tactics and realize we have no idea what we're doing. We can barely play. Absolutely. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to make myself, I don't have to make myself. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to fuck gaming on my phone. We're just going to rock Super Puzzle Fighter 2. So if you have Game Boy Advance and you want to connect with me on the Astral, it's easy to dial up my phone number. You simply play Super Puzzle Fighter 2 on the Game Boy Advance, and we will soul connect on all sorts of levels, without a doubt. The card of the day is being communicated to you right now. By the way, there's one mystery game. Don't worry, it's confirmed. SpongeBob SquarePants is right on the label, motherfuckers. I bought this one too on the 2003 Rewind. I didn't have this back in the day. This was another one. Where is my mind? Yo, somewhere the mystery lies. Yo, if we do this shit correctly, yo, in the colonies of Mars, the techno mages of our future descendants will say that the answer lies, the battle for Bikini Bottom. I swear to God, it's possible. Yo, if you want that future to exist, it can exist. What future are you fighting for? A future where fucking humanity fights for its fucking desperate survival? Or a future that says, you know, anything's possible, so why not? Techno mages, you know, for Bikini Bottom and for the win. Here we go. This is not the lighted screen, so you can kiss my ass. Oh, and I'm not even streaming. I'm talking to you guys like I'm streaming. I love it. Fuck yeah. The hell you say? Try to line you up. Oh shit. What's going on? Ah! I won't be able to play. I won't be able to figure it out. When I'm looking at you, because now I'm concerned that I'm going to accidentally give you a reflection shot, and then people are going to reverse engineer and like figure out, you know, the proverbial I'll end up getting duped and end up on cable somewhere, you know, as they say. Listen, I love you, I love you, I love you. If nobody told you they loved you, it's the person that forgot he wasn't streaming because he was caught in the time loops. Folks, you can't make this shit up. I'll see you. And I'll leave you with a quote by Lon D'Emilio Duquette speaking about the Thoth Tarot card, affectionately known as lust. Eventually, each of us will come to a level of consciousness so profoundly high that the only level higher is the universal consciousness of deity itself. I love you. Take care. See you around. Oh, and don't forget to watch The Gathering, the debut pilot episode of Babylon 5 that debuted this day 30 years ago in 1993. Take care. Beware. There's nothing scary out there. I'll talk to you soon.